Hi, and welcome along to Arsenal Fan TV. This is the transfer aftermath. Well, transfer window, as they say on Sky, has been boom, slammed shut yesterday. And after a whole month of Arsenal fans checking the internet, the newspapers, trying to find out what's the latest rumour. I mean, we were linked to David Villa, Edison Cavani, Fernando Llorente, Jan Mavia, Mo Diarmi, Capoue, Fellaini, and what happened? We didn't get any of them. We've got Nacho Monreal, left back in, plays for Malaga. On paper, I'll be honest with you, I hadn't heard of him before yesterday, but reading up on him, 9 caps for Spain, looks a very, very good player. You know, it's one of those where I've had to go on YouTube, go on Google him. It's another one of Wenger specials, but he looks to be a good signing. And boy, did we need a left back, especially with the news that I've been hearing today that Gibbs is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, Gibbs has been brilliant this season. And if he was out for 4 to 6 weeks and our only option was Andre Santos, then we would really, really have been in trouble. Although, in the Champions League game, that means that Andre Santos will have to play because Gibbs will be out and Monreal will be cup-tied. So our only signing of the transfer window, good signing as it is, left back, we did need cover there, Nacho Monreal. No David Villa, no Edison Cavani, no anybody really. And I must say, I'm really, really disappointed. And I just cannot believe that Arsenal didn't sign, at the very least, a defensive midfielder. You look at our midfield and it is absolutely crying out for a big, dirty, tall, rough defensive midfielder. Somebody who can break up play and somebody who is good coming forward. And I just thought that Mohamed Diarmi would have fitted that perfectly. It wasn't too expensive. I just cannot get my head around why we didn't sign a defensive midfielder. I still think we needed a striker. Now, I know that Arsenal were working on David Villa, but did they work on it hard enough? Did they go to Barcelona with a big offer and say, listen, we need him, here it is? Did they do that, or did they just say, oh, well, we'll offer 8 million, like the rumour says? And Barcelona just literally said to them, well, I don't know. With Arsenal, we'll never know. But one thing's for sure, to me, we needed a couple of signings to refresh the team, to give the fans a lift, and we haven't got it. And it's been going on for a month, and I just can't understand why this whole month has gone past. And that is it. Nacho Monreal, no disrespect to him, he probably turned out to be a brilliant player, but that is it. Demba Ba was available. You're going to tell me that Demba Ba wouldn't strengthen our team? Now, look at it. The other night, on the bench, don't get me wrong, we've got good attacking players, we do score goals. But on the bench, what were the options if we didn't get back in that game? Who could we have brought off of that bench as a striker to change that game? There were no strikers on the bench. I just cannot get my head around it. I know what Arsenal are doing, and Arsene Wenger, they're trying to wait till the summer to try and go after bigger targets perhaps, but it's so frustrating, especially when you're an Arsenal fan. Let me get into the tweets and see what people have been saying. Not everybody shares my opinion here. Adi Bakari says, every year is the same. Last minute buys, average players bought on the cheap, and no trophy for another year. That's what he thinks. And why is it always last minute? I mean, anyway, let me read on the tweets. Calm down, Robbie. Calm down. Alex Flynn, he said, 1 is enough in my opinion until the summer. We still have players to come back from injury. And he says, keep the faith. I'm sorry, Alex. To me, I don't think 1 was enough. But it's your opinion, mate. Tama Aditya says, wonder what if Gibbs wasn't injured. Well, if Gibbs wasn't injured, that means we wouldn't have brought anybody in. Remember, Gibbs only just got injured on Wednesday, right? So, and this Monreal signing, apparently Monreal was lined up for the summer. Apparently was even studying English and everything. It was literally a done deal that he was going to be coming in the summer. And they've only just brought it forward because of the injury to Gibbs. So does that mean that if Gibbs would have been fit, we wouldn't have made any signings? And we know Arsene Wenger was looking for signings because he's been harking on all month and saying how we need a striker, saying how we need a... He's been all consistently saying we need 2 signings. So I'm not even going to count the Monreal signing in a way because that's cover for an injury. Where are the others? What if Gibbs hadn't have been injured? That's a great point. Philip Doe says, what you expect? We've got a stadium to pay off, and it's the only position that we really need. Now, we've been hearing this thing about the stadium. Now, let's just get to the point with the stadium. The board told the fans when they moved in to the Emirates Stadium that we're moving to the Emirates because we want to compete with Manchester United, with Real Madrid, with Barcelona. That's why we're moving to a bigger stadium, because our long-term plan, we want to compete with them. That was 7-8 years ago, they told us. Now, we've gone from competing with them when we was at a smaller stadium to being nowhere near them. Not only are we not competing with Man United, we're actually giving them their best player. So, I think the stadium argument is a bit redundant. They've nearly paid off for the stadium. They've got the debt under control. They've got money available to spend. And I personally think, I respect your opinion, Philip, but I personally think that we needed to get in more players. We did need to spend some money. Sam Garrett says, great signing in Monreal, but we should have done something regarding Diarmi and perhaps a striker and a keeper. As I said about Diarmi, the keeper one's interesting as well. I thought it would have been a good shout to have bring in somebody like a Shay Given, that old experienced keeper who will keep Szczesny on his toes. You know, I've been saying it for a couple of weeks. I think that would have been a good shout, but they haven't gone for a keeper. So if anything happens to Szczesny, it's going to be Manoni or Fabianski. Are you telling me that there's nobody else better out there that we could have brought in? I'll leave that to you. MJAFC says, frustrating as we were waiting for 2 to 3 signings. However, we have to thank God that we got one. Well, I suppose so, because it looked like we weren't going to get any if Gibbs hadn't been injured. And DK McGooners said, that one signing might just prove to be one heck of a masterstroke. We could easily have been stuck with Santos, you know. Now, it may prove to be one heck of a signing, but that's just one position. We needed a defensive midfielder. We needed a striker. And we didn't get it. And we probably even needed a backup goalkeeper and maybe even cover. Now listen, I know when it comes to January, it's not the easiest time to buy. Clubs don't want to let go their best players. It's not an easy time to buy. And if you are going to buy, you're going to have to spend over the odds. But I just cannot understand. There were some players available that would have run to come to Arsenal. Diarmi is one. Areas that we needed to strengthen. I mean, Jan Mavia. Are you going to tell me that he couldn't have come into that midfield as a specialist defensive midfielder and done a job? I'm very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed at the January transfer window of Arsenal. Although, I don't know, why am I surprised? This is what happens every year. I'm stupid, really. I should have realised. Thanks everybody who took part in the hangout yesterday. We did a special transfer deadline special where we ran it from 10 to 11 o'clock to when the transfer window closed. Thanks to Grant, all about Arsenal, to Luca, to all the guys, if I forget, Hasib, Shukri, everybody who took part in that. It was brilliant last night. You can check that out on our channel. If you want to watch all of it, it's still running there. And we're going to start doing a lot more hangouts, weekly hangouts, so that you, the fans, can get on live and give us your opinions on games, on incidents, on anything to do with Arsenal. We'd really love that hangout. Look for the links below and you can find out about all the future hangouts we're going to be doing. But we're going to be making that a real regular feature. But that was brilliant last night. Really enjoyed that. Game tomorrow, Stoke. Hopefully we can go out there and do the business. Now that the whole transfer thing is gone, it's gone. It's gone now, Robin. Calm down, it's gone. Now we just got to concentrate on getting 4th place, on winning the FA Cup and progressing and going as far as we can in the Champions League and possibly nicking that as well. I'm fully behind the boys that are there. I'm fully behind the team. I hope everybody else gets behind the team. As I said before, it could have been David Villa. It could have been Edison Cavani. It could have been Fernando Llorente. But all we got was some nachos. So, just going to have to enjoy them. Do you want one? The Arsenal Fan TV shop is now open. Get your official AFTV merchandise now, including the limited edition In Bully We Trust t-shirt, as well as the Arsenal Fan TV shirts and hoodies.